But yeah, it had another quirk on it. So he goes, oh, so we had to, right before that meeting, totally reconnect. And as a BZA, it was a BZA meeting that we had Tuesday. And luckily Stephanie tried it early, and
So if we do have anyone virtual, their sound will come out of the portal over here versus the TV, but.
Do we know, is Carrie coming? Do we know? Or?
Let me check here. I've not heard from her. I don't see any other participants.
But we're good with 3 people, right?
Yep. I'll keep watching to see if you joined in here.
I met Carrie.
Oh yeah, the tree thing. She's always been virtual.
She's always been virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a real person.
She's a real person.
She's got body from the she's not just a head, a talking head.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started then. This is the meeting of the Urban Forestry Committee for October. We'll take a roll call of who's here so we can establish a quorum. You want to start, Julia?
Yep. Julia Avey present.
Carol Hannah.
Joe Scott.
So we have 3 people that we know of, and we'll see if Carrie and or Jeanette add in. But let's go ahead and approve the minutes from the last meeting. If you've had a chance to look at them. On the left, on the iPad as well. And
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
okay,
I second.
all right, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So we have those approved. All right, so we've got some old business that we'll let Denise take over.
So we just wanted to give a quick update on the Facebook page. We've increased our followers by, I think, probably about 20. We've got 96 now. So it's good to see that. We're starting to see some comments on there. I would like to see that continue, and just trying to, kind of observe and kind of see what posts seem to draw in that interaction and that engagement. So we'll continue to do that over the next couple of months. As far as this past month, we have focused on stormwater benefits because that has been a focus for our partners at Clear Choice Clean Water group that we are partners with. So we are a member of their group, and they channel us with some great information that has been very helpful to be able to pass on to the community. And so we kind of gave a shout out and appreciation to them as a great resource for our community. And then we shared a few images here of how to properly plant the tree. Risa put some images out there as far as encouraging those to plant a tree for the fall. And, as our base grows, hopefully we'll start getting some more responses and interaction with the page to kind of share those pictures. But we went ahead and followed up with how to properly plant a tree. to educate the community as well as showing those stormwater benefits, which is a great segue, I think, into this next year with our MS4 partnership and those focuses that we need to give some attention to. And then also we have a school planting image as well. Julia was able to attend, and Carol, and then also Carrie Dodd was able to come that day. And we had a great turnout. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but that was a lot of fun and a beautiful day. A lot better than last year. Reese is working on, Hannah had got with him to see if he could start looking into how we can take our page and turn it into more of, instead of a private page, into a public page, shared page. So then that way individuals don't have to go in and request to be a follower. Some I've seen where it's automatic, and then some I get a request. So I'm trying to figure that on my end at this time.
Yeah.
But his fall exams fell around that time a couple weeks ago, and then he had fall break this week.
Yeah.
So we told him, don't, worry about it, but we'll continue. And he
Yeah,
said,
so you
"Don't
can
do so."
follow without being a friend.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So it's
which-
kind of like a public
like,
page,
yeah.
organization page.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're trying our best to be able, we can get that transition
Mhm.
converted over without having to start a
Totally
new
fine. Yeah.
page. So that way
Yeah.
we're not starting all over.
Yeah.
So he was going to work on that for us, and hopefully we can get that accomplished and not have to create a new page. And
Mhm.
at the same time, we're also going to have that page through Archive Social. So it's a group that, as long as it's a private page, they can't oversee it, but they're going to start here real soon to oversee our town page, our park page. And I believe, like say the pool, Brown's Pool, I think they
Mhm.
have their own
Their page,
Facebook
yeah.
page, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what they do is they retain all of the comments, all of the posts, so then that way, if we have a FOIA request for any request for a post, which we've never had one before, but you never know, they'll be able to retrieve that.
Mhm.
And so we'll always keep that, because with Solution for eBiz, even if we have posts with them, they only retain so long, with our everything. So,
Okay.
so that's our goal, is to get that under Archive Social as well.
Yeah.
But that's it that I have for the Facebook page, unless you have any questions. Okay. The next one is the Stormwater Initiative for tree planting. And the quick packet that I put together for that group when we met on the 21st of September, I have a copy, a printed copy there. It's also in your Google Drive. But that was very well received. They are very excited about it. So they said they were also looking for one, just an outreach to check off of that one of 3 programs that we have to do anyway for our general permit for stormwater. But also their community's been looking for an idea to do for bicentennial. So they are very excited about it. So they are supposed to go back to their communities, go back to the public works departments, and to see if that's something that would best fit in their schedule for the spring or in the fall. So we're going to return back on the 16th of November is when we're going to be meeting with them again. And so they're supposed to report back if that is something that is going to be more doable for that spring or November. And if they say the spring, then we're going to go ahead and apply with the Arbor Day Foundation for 200 trees and see how that goes.
Good.
And be a Madison County wide project,
Yeah.
which I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially the great timing with the 200-year celebration and have that all together. I think that there was some apprehension with the spring just because we didn't have much rainfall this summer. Thought that the fall might be a better time for weather-wise, but I think either will work, whatever they choose to go with. So I'll definitely report back. I guess we would probably be able to report back at our November meeting. Because I believe that 16th would fall right.
The day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll keep you posted on that. And then also the Madison County engineer, it's Jessica Baston. She, in her previous position, she worked with water department somehow with the state. She has a contact that she's going to reach out to that I guess has a lot of resources on trees and stormwater benefits. So she said that she would be able to provide us with a lot of great stormwater material. So yeah, so I think that will come together nicely. And then also spoke with Amy Turner. She has kind of been a lead and instrumental role with the foundation with that public art group that they did the crosswalk here on Water Street. So she said that this would definitely be something that they would want to be a part of with the reindeer aspect of it. So she said definitely keep them included and keep them in mind for that portion of it. That's I have for the stormwater initiative. And then Franklin Street, no, I just got this sent out this afternoon. I apologize for the short notice, but Bluegrass Farms, they called and confirmed probably around 11:30 today. And they're like, we have your trees ready. You can come and pick them up. And so the guys picked them up this afternoon and they want to start tomorrow. If they can.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
So I put that email out real quick, but if you are free tomorrow, we're going to meet at Franklin Street around 9 a.m. They said they wanted to give it a little bit of time to kind of warm up. So I think it's going to be 40 in the morning time. So you may want to wait until 9:30, 10. It's up to you to come in if you want to take part of that and help plant those trees. We're going to first take them off of the trailer. We'll put them in place. I've got flags with the address and the type of tree. And so we'll coordinate that. We'll get them all in their place and then they'll go back and we'll plant them, you know, one by one. So they've got a crew of 4. So I told them I'd be out there helping as well. And they said with the 3, because the container trees needed to get picked up or we would have lost those species. So they went ahead and picked those up on the 29th. It was the day that they picked up the tree for the school. They went ahead and got those in the ground. So then that way we can get some water to them. And so those went really well, they said. They said there is a lot of rock and there's quite a bit of rocks. But what their plan is to go back after they're planted and remove those pebbles. Or I mean, there's some of them are quite big, 2-3 inches. So they do have plans to go ahead and get them removed, smooth it out, and then they're going to get with he's got a friend that's in the landscaping business that's going to advise him whether or not just doing some initial seeding to get something to maybe grab for the spring, and then later come in the spring and do some de-weeding type product that kind of.
I don't think we're gonna get any rain till like maybe next week.
No, and they're gonna go into snow immediately.
I know.
Yeah. Yes. So they're not quite for sure if they're gonna do that or if they're gonna wait till the spring, but at least we'll get those trees in there.
Yeah.
And then we can attend to that and make the islands look better.
Are they gonna have mulch to put around them then?
Not tomorrow. They
Okay.
said that they will, because they weren't quite for sure how they're gonna do with the seed, or they kind
Yeah.
of wanted to get that done and then
Yeah.
come back. But if they don't do any seeding, then we need to get some mulch on
Mulch,
that,
yeah.
just to kind of keep some retaining of that heat. in
Yeah.
there as much as
Yeah.
possible.
I can be there for a little bit. I've got an appointment at 11, but I
Okay.
might come by for a little bit in the morning
Yeah.
and
do
just
that.
see what's going on.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
a picture.
absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, they will probably work from 9 to 11, and then they usually take their lunch break from 11 to 12. Unless they're so close to knocking them out, they may just finish it up, take a
Yeah.
little lunch. But they usually take a lunch from 11 to 12, and then they'll come back at it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
They digging them by hand?
Well, they've got an auger that they're
Okay.
going to bring in,
Yeah.
and they said that makes it a lot
Yeah.
better. and-
Yeah. Because the ground's like concrete.
Yes, yeah. And they did. They said actually it went really quick. So
Quick,
they thought
yeah.
they would be able to get it done in a day, if not half of
Okay.
a day.
Well,
And
good.
yeah, because they said the leaves are starting to fall and they need to get on that rotation on Monday. So they said, do you want to wait until Monday? It's a little bit warmer. And they said, well, those leaves are.
They
gonna
said
be
it's only gonna
dropping.
be a low of 50 overnight. I just heard that on the way in. So
Okay.
it's not gonna be
Too
as,
bad.
that doesn't sound too bad
Good.
compared to this morning.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
goodness, the last couple of mornings.
Yeah.
But-
Okay, well, good.
Yeah, so yeah, come on out if you can. One thing I wanted to mention, because I believe this was discovered after our last meeting, but maybe not. The ones at 118, 124, 130, those were on that very north end on the
Yeah.
west side of Franklin Street. There was one island, we were gonna plant those 3 trees and we had to remove them as a water department. The way it was marked before, it looked like that they were just lines across lateral, but it's all down the center. Of the
Yeah,
pipe.
I think
So
you did mention that, yeah.
So we'll be left tomorrow with one extra autumn service berry. So we may kind of just take a look at it and see if there's an island that we feel like we can fit in a fourth or a third or an extra one in there, but we'll take a look at it. And then if not, they said that they could either plant it in the cemetery or we did replace one of the trees at Heritage Way that it was at Zelcor. And it had died over the past year, and so they replaced that one.
There's
so-
one by the North 40 there that by the log cabin that
By the
looks,
log cabin?
yeah, that didn't make
Okay.
it too.
Okay,
So I don't know.
that in.
You know, in the
like, where
area,
Red Barn and.
It
the-
kind of, well, between, yeah, between the log cabin and the pond, they
Okay,
put some trees
okay,
along in there.
Okay,
And there's one for sure that didn't make it. There's another one that looks
okay,
questionable, but it's hard to tell when the leaves are gone.
Yes,
But
yes.
one definitely. Yeah,
didn't make it,
didn't make
okay,
it, yeah,
yeah, I'll
so
check
that-
with
that-
Aaron on that, maybe
Yeah.
we can pop that out and they can put that in. A lot of times when it is a new growth like that, you can pull that out. and then-
it's easier to,
Yeah, the
yeah.
roots haven't
just-
really started to attach and create
Yeah.
a trunk and, yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect. And then. Oh, next 2 pages, we've had that in our, I just kept it in there until we finish that project, but it's just the yeah, species that we keep to those. I was getting a little nervous. I was afraid we're gonna lose them, but they said that since they were all ones that need to be dug up, that we're there, so. And then just the last old business update, we had the program at the school. I think it went really well. The kids were a lot of fun. Have a lot of good, comments and interaction. And we tried to do something a little
Yeah.
different with, keeping it in an organized fashion, but yet.
Well, I like the little game thing. They seem
Mm-hmm.
to be real engaged with that.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, we had like 8 benefits of trees. And so we asked for 2 volunteers from each class. And then they came up and then the kids would have to guess like a benefit of the tree and try to guess those 8. And so as they were revealed, then they would step forward. And that way it was something to kind of keep it going and touch a little bit on the history of the Arbor Day as well. The teachers, we sent over activity sheet that had the benefits. That's also in the Google Drive, benefits of trees for them if they wanted to do sit down and have a art session or say quiet time or whatnot. And then also the Arbor Day Foundation created a PowerPoint on the history and the origination of Arbor Day, which I thought was really cool. Talked about the prairie and, how that they were lacking trees. And that's where Jay Sterling, Wharton, I think, he came to legislation and said we need a day to honor for trees. And that day they had 1 million trees planted in the state of Nebraska. And that's what it was estimated. And then over time, of course, then other states have jumped suit and now all 50 states honor it. And also there's about, I think, about a dozen countries worldwide that also honor Arbor Day. So, but yeah, so they said that they would make that available to the students when they could. And we just kind of left it up to them. They had a moment. And then as far as, I think the last one on our old business, spoke with Bobby and she confirmed with Donnie Meyer. They will not be planting memorial trees this fall.
Okay.
They said just with the playground and everything going on, they decided to put a hold on planting any trees until spring. So I just told them, well, touch base and, if anything changes, let me know. But she did say that there was a sign that no more trees for 2022. So we'll get with them next year. Speaking of the park, I wanted to mention this as well. I had checked into the Indiana DNR, the urban forestry. division. Because they had, remember that tree steward program that they had offered, they had education
Yeah.
programs that they were wanting to host at the park this year. And I hadn't heard anything, and so then I kind of started trying to find contacts on the state website and who, who's now, who had taken over Carrie Tosher's position and so forth. I wasn't finding anyone. And so got a hold of someone, I think it might have been in the Fish and Wildlife Department, and they reached back out and they said that currently there is no position filled in the urban forestry division there in
Wow.
DNR. Yeah. And so then I, of course, emailed back because we had that community and urban forestry grant that I was hoping we could do again for this next year. And she said, until those positions are filled, it's on hold, that they're not administered. I was disappointed to hear that because I was looking forward to us hosting some events and having some educational workshops here. So I'll keep in touch with them and, see if that changes. But I know that they're trying to get that filled. They had 2 full-time positions and a part-time. The part-timer was the administrator of the grants. And then the other gal was the program director and the interior was the director. And they've, I guess, they both, or all of them have moved on. So I hope we'll get that filled in, because that was a great program, I thought, for the state. They did a phenomenal job going statewide and encouraging, just education and growth and for the different towns. So, okay, so for new business, unless you have anything for old business.
Sounds good.
Arbor Day proclamation has been signed. So Chet, the copy of it is in the Google Drive. He signed that effective that date of September the 29th when we had honored it and observed it at the school. So he came in that Friday and got that signed for us. It is one piece of the criteria to be qualified for our next year. So it's actually this year, but when we apply, the deadline is December the 31st for our Tree City USA Award for 2022.
Okay.
So that I will submit that, include that in our packet. And so we've got that taken care of, and we started to go ahead and start getting research for that. I've been working with Kelly and getting what we've been paying out towards plant growth management. Those are auditors of our tree care service here in town. Those are the trees and the utility lines or under the power lines and utilities. So she's been great, very helpful in getting that. To date, we have spent about $140,000 on our urban forestry, which I know as far as in tree plantings is about 3,000 of that. So I'd love to be able to see next year to where we can get some grants and we can offset that a lot, more like we had in years past. But they're getting to a point where that cost is reducing because they're cutting less and they're trimming more. So the maintenance of it is more than it was a couple of years ago.
So this is mostly just the getting rid of the dead trees
Yes,
and
yes.
trimming and that
Brush
sort of
and-
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and keeping them trimmed away from the power line.
Yeah.
and everything. So
yeah. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, wow, I had no idea.
I had
That's a
heard
lot.
it's about 250 a couple of years ago when they first started because it just hadn't been
Hadn't been
intended to.
done. Yeah.
And I think, if I recall right, when Scott Resty got hired on, he had met with all the department heads and he met with Craig Switzer and asked, what is your need? What's your top need? What are your priorities? And he said, I don't need equipment. We don't need anything, but we need to focus on our trees, on our power lines and under our power lines and utility easements. So if you can help me out getting that accomplished, and Scott's like, we'll do it, So, so I think, it'll get to a point where it'll be just more maintained. Plant growth management has done a wonderful job overseeing. It's Williams Tree Company that's come in that's doing the work. So, and I think even through COVID and so forth, they kept very busy. And as far as the next one I had on new business is if Carol, if you still are available on November the 10th, I'd love for you to come to the town council meeting and give a report. I can give you a little bit more detail between now and then on these items here if you'd like. And,
Yeah, because I was just
kind of-
thinking of kind of our highlights for this year.
Mhm.
Really, it's been in the last half of the year. We
Mhm.
really didn't do a whole lot before that, but the tree planting at the school and the proclamation and the Franklin Street project. And then the potential, what we're doing with the stormwater. I mean, that we can give them an update. Yeah, if you want to put together
Yeah,
some highlights like that, and I'd be happy to report out to them and
Yeah.
thank them for allowing us to reduce to 5.
Yes.
Yes.
Another one too, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that we can actually accomplish something.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
okay.
Yeah, and I'll put together a list of kind of what our 2023 goals
Goals
are.
are, yeah.
The management plan and.
Oh,
and
and the
then,
Facebook page. We
get
don't want to
that-
forget
Yeah,
that.
Facebook, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, so I'll put that, and I would love to have a goal for next year is that growth award. And that's kind of the second part to that Tree City USA award.
Mhm.
And the growth award is just kind of showing you're going above and beyond. And we got that when we did that, the tree recovery project.
Yeah,
But I think that stormwater initiative, I think
that,
that would help
I
us
think that
qualify,
would, I think that
Mhm.
would, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna be. And I just love the idea that the whole county
Right.
is gonna participate
cool.
together.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah,
So, okay, yeah, I'll get that to you.
okay,
And then we
That
also had
sounds
that full leaf award too.
yeah,
that we got
yeah,
for the
yeah,
ISA through Indiana Arbor Association. So,
yeah.
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 Yeah,
We're gonna feel pretty
Had a
good.
good year.
Had a good year.
And I just grabbed on here at the
You
end.
just,
and
hey,
just-
you get all the glory.
No, I'm glad you joined, so that
I am too.
worked out great. So, as far as anything coming up, if you're available tomorrow, great. If anything goes haywire and they have a emergency or anything like that, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah,
And then, and I'll let you know if they reschedule for next week. But if you have anything with Facebook or any pictures or anything you want to send, feel free to do so. It's been working really well. I went ahead and created the post for last week because I knew that he was on fall break and, I was like, I think it's coming around this time or something. So, I'll go ahead and get that out though. But
and I've got a note, because I really would like next spring to have people submit pictures of their trees from recovery. I think that would be so cool to see
Mhm.
when they start blooming again
Yeah.
and just see some of the trees that.
I had memories pop up this past week from my
Okay.
Facebook
Oh,
page of
Of
that.
that, yeah.
And it really made me think, wow, we really pulled that off.
Yeah.
And how beautiful that day was. Do you remember how
Yes,
bright and
yes.
sunny? And all the trees that were changing just were brilliant colors. It was like they knew something good was going to
Yes,
happen in the
yeah.
tree world.
that was a great day.
The colors this year, I don't know, they seem to be more, maybe it's because it's been sunny, that, when
Could
the
be.
sun hits those
Mhm.
leaves, it's like they just glow.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
been beautiful.
yes. Those hues and.
Yeah.
Just thinking, I will reach out to Tammy as well as, I think Carrie Sisk maybe is for the Madison County Foundation. But they might be interest to be a part of that stormwater initiative.
Oh,
program.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll run that by them.
Yeah.
And then if, you guys all want to come on the 10th of November and, either support Carol or, put that on your calendar.
They're pretty exciting meetings, aren't they?
And what time are that?
They're 6.
They're at
They're
6, yeah.
6, okay.
And here I am. I did not realize that this was not being shared. Wonder why that didn't take. I'm thinking all that stuff's up here. Did you all see it in you see the
Oh.
presentation in the?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
We don't
yeah.
have anyone online, so I guess it's no big deal. But I just looked over here, I just realized that it's not. That's why it didn't share. That's all I have for tonight. But, Add or anything?
Anybody? Thanks for all your work.
Yes.
A lot of fun. For sure. Even though I get razzed a lot from Rick, he's, trees is his least favorite word, he says. So we have to make sure that we get a good picture of him tomorrow, so we can put him on Facebook. He's a great guy.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that.
I keep telling Ryan, I said, Ryan, I've had material for the electric department and the street department. I said, so you need to have something go wrong or something that we can get a good picture of you, down there fixing in the water main or something. So he's like, oh, we don't need to be on Facebook, but they need to be thanked as well. Seems like the street and electric department seem to have more projects kind of going on now.
Yeah.
I know we were thankful. We're talking about hometown Christmas decorations for the park, getting that all lined out. And supposedly there's going to be an article in the paper that we put together thanking the people, the merchants, the organizations, and the families that give of their time and their money to do that. And I was sure to include the electric department because they do a lot. They do that bridge now
Yeah.
and just help us make sure everything's ready to go. So, and the Hupfer family, I did ask that we specifically thank them for all the years. I mean, they're, as far as I know, they're still doing it. They have done this on their own for years. The decorating of the lamppost. and the
Oh,
park,
really?
That's at their own expense and their own
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah. And so.
Did I see somewhere that they were gonna put some more electricity outlets somewhere? Where did I
Well,
see?
there's talk about by next year having more 220 available for
Yeah.
food truck vendors throughout
Oh.
the circle.
Yeah, I was thinking they were gonna put it in
Because
some
all the
areas that
events,
that
you
you
know,
couldn't
in
get
this day and
lights
age,
to.
every event has
Has-
food trucks.
Yeah,
Because we had that huge, the generator,
yeah.
the loud generator at the, so that's, would be nice if they did not have to use generators.
Yeah, they are. They're really good to the community. And then they worked with IMPA and we got the new welcome to Pendleton sign.
I saw that.
Yeah, we have one more coming.
So I thought I heard that the state didn't want anything in those roundabouts.
We can't at the middle school
Yeah.
roundabout, but we own that with State Street.
Oh.
So we have.
We have the-
say on
okay.
And
that
that first roundabout,
Mhm. So that's how
Okay.
we were able to put it there. But we
Yeah.
could not
is
put
it there?
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
there
I haven't
now.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott wanted it, it's in the center, but he wanted it not quite in the center there, I think the water main or a sewer
Mhm.
line or something that's right there, but
Yeah.
yeah, so
Nice.
it's, right as you come up to it, it's
When
yeah,
did they put that?
Monday.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why
I was gonna
haven't seen
say,
it.
Yeah.
it just, it was
Oh,
not
nice.
there,
They just
and it was.
I'm glad you
They
said
said
that.
that they didn't know
Because I
when.
thought, when I saw it the other day, I was like, I haven't been missing
I
this.
know, yeah, you did. I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
was that there before?
Yeah.
Well, then it was cloudy for 3 days, so it wasn't until last night when I left or yesterday evening, that I was able to get there before the sun went down. Because I
Oh.
tried taking pictures
Take picture-
earlier, but it
yeah.
just looked so gloomy and cloudy and I was,
Yeah.
so I said that this morning to Solution for Events. So they'll get a sign out or a post out.
Post out, yeah,
But
yeah.
again, I was thinking the electric department too,
Mhm.
and that's why we need to get stuff for the water department.
I
Yeah.
had a conversation the other day with a Mennonite gentleman. And we went to the Mennonite or I forget what it's called, Mennohoff Museum at Shipshewana. It's really interesting. I love museums. But it explains the whole deal about the Mennonites, the Amish, and the third one, I can't remember. So anyway, we were having this discussion. He goes, now, where are you from? And I said, well, it's a small town north of Indianapolis called Pendleton. He goes, oh, the prison.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, oh, you
I
need
know,
to
there's-
come to Pendleton. There's so
There's,
much
yeah,
more at
there's still a
Pendleton
lot of people that's. still
besides the
thinking
prison.
Yeah.
So we've got to keep that. We got to change that image.
Yes,
Well,
yeah. More here than the prison, that's for sure.
Well, we've ended the meeting, right? I didn't
Yeah, we
officially
did.
say that, but
Okay.
but we got there.
There you go.